Welcome to Weekend Wellbeing. My name is Nathan Thomas. This is Pure 24/7 radio, and we're joined today, as ever, by Karen Ferguson from the Maven Club. Hello, Karen. Good to see you again.
Hi Nathan, how are you doing?
Very well, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great, thank you.
Brilliant, and great to have you back on for today's Weekend Wellbeing. Last time you were with us, you talked about the idea of being kind and something not to
Mm.
be overestimated, not to be, no, underestimated, I should say,
Mhm.
because being kind is just so powerful, isn't it? I mean, it's something we all get taught that as a child, don't we? To be kind, it's just something most of us, I suspect, have been taught to be kind when we can. But it's
Mm.
something we can easily
Yeah,
forget to do when we just get too so busy. Not because we're being
mm.
malicious or we're trying to upset people. We just it's easy to forget. Like anything, you need if you want to work,
Yeah,
you want to get better at something, you've got to actually choose to work on it. And the same applies to
yeah,
any good character trait like kindness. So
absolutely. The more we think about something, the more likely you are to keep doing it and to
yeah,
do so pursue it. So
exactly.
um yes. Yeah. So today, this weekend, in some ways it follows on from what we were looking at last week. Now last week was it was really a reminder for us to think about being kind to those that really are special to us. And we introduced that idea of just sort of the post-it pairings, just to make it fun and simple and light-hearted, easy to achieve in a weekend, and essentially we'll say low cost or no cost, so that it isn't prohibitive. But following on from that, today I just wanted us to consider being thoughtful and often I think if you've ever read any of the Gary Chapman books about love languages, and he's done many versions of that, where he'll talk about how different people receive what their love languages are, their sort of strongest ones, and that type of thing. And often when we're in relationships, whether that's a parent to a child, a working relationship, a spouse relationship, whatever that relationship dynamic might be, we do well when we learn more about each other and we understand what their strongest love language, and how we can look to meet them in the way that will speak the with the most volume to them. So along those types of themes, I was thinking about this sense of us being kind last week, and it was a very random selection of, in your case, maybe a family member. Who is it that's going to get the one which is make a cup of tea? And it's very random and fun and light-hearted. But as we start to get into this season where we are now getting bombarded with adverts for Christmas, and it all becomes very much about gifts and that type of thing, I was thinking, isn't it great if our gifts actually are about being thoughtful, about knowing that person, knowing them individually? And so I wondered this weekend. This sounds a little bit school-like, so apologies, especially if you work in a school and you're like, I want the weekend off. But I wondered whether it would be a good idea this weekend to do a little survey of those that are nearest and dearest to you, and actually start to find out, well, what do they really like? And particularly thinking along that sort of love language theme. So is it that they really love time, your time, and just some dedicated time? Or is it that they love to receive something that's been handmade, that's a gift, because it shows that you've been thoughtful and you've put thought into it? What might it look like? And so this weekend, my challenge to you is to do some surveying. You can do this in a very formal way. There's lots of free online things that you could actually create a survey if you really wanted to, or you could do it in a very subtle way. If you're sat down eating together, put some questions out there and start to discover. And my idea would be that you keep a note of the different nearest and dearest to you, and the things that make them feel really special, the things that show that you're being thoughtful. And then you can start to plot and plan. What does that actually look like? What might that look like? So potentially this Christmas, some of your thoughts around gifts might not be an actual, present that's unwrapped, but the gift of something that is really very thoughtful because you've done your surveying, you've you've done your plotting and planning, and now you can give something that is really personal. It might be that takes a bit of time to actually make something or write something, but imagine how that feels at Christmas time to know that somebody has gone to that effort because they really care about you. So what does it look like for you to really take that time to be thoughtful? Please keep playing that kindness game. Keep doing those acts of kindness. Put new things on post-its each week, and keep doing those lovely things for those that are your nearest and dearest. But maybe take it one step further and be really thoughtful, because it's good for us. It's lovely for those people to know that they are special, but it's good for us to have this focus, to put the effort into thinking about what would be special for those that we really care about.
Absolutely. That is a really good thought for us. And being thoughtful, as you say, it kind of follows on nicely from what you said last time about being more intentional when we're being kind, being more intentional about how we consider, what really matters to other people. And we come to Christmas. I mean, any kind of birthday or Christmas, certain festivals, it is the perfect opportunity to present someone with a gift that shows how well you know them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And Christmas is the perfect opportunity for that, because we can kind of we can treat people in a special way,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
being attentive to how they receive certain things, because obviously what would be a gift to one person might be quite an insult to another, especially across
Absolutely.
different ages, different cultures, different backgrounds,
Mm-hmm.
and then taking the time to understand that. I mean, we as humans tend to be very good at scheming to achieve certain ends, and what if we put
Mm-hmm.
that same effort into trying to work out how we can make others feel really good and really special? And
Absolutely.
that will
Yeah.
come naturally as we decide to put others before ourselves. But yeah, that being deliberately thoughtful, I think you're absolutely right. We can all put that into practice.
And there's still a bit of time, isn't there? That's the
Mm.
thing. That's why I really wanted to think about this at this stage. So it's not like a 24th of December last minute panic. Oh, I forgot to get something. What do I do? But actually, it's really getting to know them. Because naturally, we'll lean towards something that would make us feel good. But when we do that little bit of research, we can really hear what brings them to life, what makes them feel special.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Karen. Good to see you again. And I think you're absolutely right, getting in early with this idea as we come up to Christmas. It's still a while away yet, but as you say, it's always good to get well prepared. And I think it sort of seems to be a theme developing at the moment as you're talking us through being more intentional, planning ahead, actually putting things in place in a way, to make it easier for ourselves to be kind to
Mhm.
others, which makes a
Yeah,
lot of sense. So, yeah, thank you so
yeah.
much, Karen. Good to see you again this week, and enjoy your weekend.
Thanks, Nathan. Cheerio.
Rated 5 stars by Sorted Magazine's film critic, Pure 247 takes you behind the scenes of the birth of a global Christian radio station. Andy B will have you laughing and crying as you discover what it takes to create ministry that matters in this inspiring tale of perseverance, honesty, and vulnerability. Buckle up and get ready for a story that's uplifting as it is entertaining. Behind the microphone, they face bankruptcy, eviction, and 2 life-changing surgeries. Can they make it? Will they make it? Get your copy of this life-changing book today. Pure 247 is available now on Amazon. Andy B is best described as a man after God's own heart, who insists that God's vision and resourcing trump all handicaps.